Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Blossoms, and I sound very unenthusiastic because this is now the third time I'm trying to record this fucking part, and I'm kind of pissed off. And I'm aggravated, and I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore, because my recording software is a piece of shit, and I clicked the record button, and it must have double-clicked, and it recorded a half a second, literally, of nothing, and then 40 minutes of me, I lost it, so we recorded almost all of the bad endings. Actually, we did all the endings. But when I got to the one in chapter 4, it was the same as the low romance or the unrequited love ending. And I was like, well, that's weird. Maybe I clicked the wrong thing. So I was like, well, let me go watch what I did. And maybe I clicked the wrong things, right? Where's my video? Oh my God. So I start to record again. And I'm so aggravated and pissed off that I choose the wrong option. And we started reading it as if we were, I was like, wait, huh? Because in the unrequited love ending, you're supposed to, you give him blood versus the bad endings where you make him endure it. And I clicked make him endure it, and I was going through and I was like, you know what? I can't even. I am so aggravated that I just started doing the wrong options, and we're going to be all sorts of off and like, fuck my life. Anyway, so low romance, low corruption. We're going to do this for the 15th fucking time. And it just really sucks because it's going to be even shorter because like, you miss all of my rambling. I have no idea what we were rambling about. And you miss my good reaction to this ending. Because now I've seen it, so like, whatever. I gotta be honest, all of the bad endings in this route seem to be pretty standard and kind of boring. This one, though, the low unrequited love one, was like, just, like, why would you do this to me? But it was awful, but it's just, I'm not going to have the same reactions because I've already seen it and it's already ripped my heart out and now I'm heartless and angry. So it's just whatever. Yeah, whatever ending. Let's see if we can do this right this fucking time. Like, I got the guide in front of me. You know what? The CG makes up for everything. To see that again. It's like literally the third time I've seen that today. Anyway, nothing is for certain. Obviously, it acts like I've chosen all these before, because I played this whole thing already. Nothing is for certain yet. I felt compelled to wrap my hands around Sonen's face and draw him in closer so that his eyes were inches from my own. Forget what my father said. We've no idea whether or not he was lying when he told you that fairies cannot become humans again. Aren't there other means you could experiment with? Well, yes, but then let's fight it until the very end. Until we verify the truth. You can't give up. And then, okay, so that should be silence in the teacup thing. We read that already, originally. Oh. Oh, beautiful. I love you, Sonnen, tonight. This time we give him blood. We're supposed to give him fucking blood. And I will try to stop it where the new shit happens. Because Lord knows the game's going to skip till the end. They're at the thing. And then... Wait. Nope, that was already... Okay, that was already... Okay, Heisuke... Okay, so Heisuke coming back, that's great. Okay. It's when he's about to take the... Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through this manually because I want to make sure. Okay. So it's when... We've already done this. This was all... It was when he... Kodo gets cornered and he's about to take the vial. Alright, okay. So this was normal. We've already read all this. This was nothing different. That's the only thing. It's not going to stop. You know what I mean? Okay. Father was desperate, backed into a corner by Sonnen. Okay. It was like a little bit after this, but this is close enough. He stuffed his hand into his pocket, searching for a second until he pulled out a glass vial with red liquid. The water of life. Right you are, but this is nothing like the swill drank by some of those lower foot soldiers. This patch of serum was cultivated under the most rigorous of standards, with double the concentration. Because this is the point where Kaoru stabs him, which... I shall wash my hands of you, then spend the rest of my days researching methods of rejuvenating my body, so that I may live forever. Mother cackled to our dismay, and then put the glass vial to his lips, swallowing the serum in one gulp. Gah! Father's eyes shined malevolently as he pointed his fervent gaze over towards Sen. Oh my, this is incredible. I've never felt power like this before. Okay, so this is where it's all new. No one can stand in my way, not even the princess of the Yase, nor the demon of the West. I cannot lose. Prove it! Let's go! And as I said the first time, I fucking love Sen. Like, what? His aura is unlike anything I've ever seen! Princess, step back! The force of Father's shove blew Sen back several feet, and with his other hand, he knocked Kimigiko with a swift punch to her chest. Like Sen mentioned, Father radiated a terrifying energy enhanced by his consumption of the serum. His muscles bulged from inside his kimono, and with a cool smack, he blasted Sen and Kimigiko across the room. He puffed his chest sharply. I was right. All of my research has paid off. He formed his lips into a satisfied smile before locking his hands together, charging up his latent energy. Sonnen, however, was unafraid of Father's display. He merely stared back at Father, and then there appeared to be a hint of sympathy twinkling in his eye. I pity you for having wantonly thrown away your only chance of living. A worm until the very end. I suppose that the least I could do for you is help facilitate a warrior's death. Consider it a courtesy. All bark and no bite. You stand no chance against me. As the two sprinted forward to clash into one another, sparks flew from the clang of their blades meeting. Father, at least visibly, was the stronger of the two. However, Sonnen deflected each of the jabs aimed towards his abdomen by Father's scalpel. You may possess faster reflexes, but they're no substitute for knowledge of the blade. You took the easy route, whereas I dedicated entire months of my life, training day in and day out, to the craft of my swordsmanship. Years, probably. Not months, but like years. Technique is learned through the application of repetition, which is something no serum could ever imitate. His muttered words fell deaf on Father's ears, who continued to swing with vicious aplomb. Finally, Sonnen deflected an incoming slash, exposing Father's abdomen, and Sonnen drove his blade into his opponent's heart. What? This cannot be! Father lowered his guard, and Sonnen peeked at Heisuke from his peripheral, watching his comrade easily subdue Kaoru and the rest of the rogue furies. It ends here, Kodo. True. Suppose it couldn't have been any other way. Though, Sonnen, the end is not mine alone to savor. It appears you're joining me in hell. What? No! God fucking awful even the second time around. Before I could realize what was happening, I rushed over to Sonnen, whose face was awestruck. As I placed my hand softly on his shoulder, I felt it crumble, and soon his flesh began dissolving like dust in the palm of my hand. It still hurts the second time around, fuck. Yeah, it sucked the first time. It's just as bad the second time. My time has come, it seems. How unfortunate. No! You can't die yet! There's still so much that we need to do! So much I have to tell you! My world was falling apart in front of me. I felt numb to my surroundings. Sun and turning to sand, melting into the ground. It was a harsh reality, and I was overcome with regret. I couldn't contain myself from crying, and soon a deluge of tears began streaming down my hot cheeks. How poetic. All my life, I never once imagined I'd have someone to cry for me. That alone is a light in this dark, solemn time. As the hushed words left Sonnen's mouth, pieces of his body would begin to chip from the bottom up. His feet were little more than piles of ash, but his face, pale and serene, was perfectly intact. A tiny smile curled his lips before he muttered, Yukimura, pardon me if this sounds selfish, but there's a favor for which I have been meaning to ask. What is it? Please, leave your memory of me behind. You still have a future, and you must go on living without me. Please, forget our time together. Find another, one who can give you what you need. Happiness. He says it with such a beautiful smile on his face, and it hurts so much. Is that what you want, Sonnen? If I were to leave your memory behind, and there came a day where I found the heart of another, if that person wasn't you, would you really be okay with that? I've no choice. Sonnen, please, if this is our final moment together, I just want you to tell me how you feel about us. I couldn't help but quiver from sobbing. I don't know why she asked him that instead of being like, I fucking love you, goddammit. Just tell him you love him. You didn't say it, just say it. Sonnen's breaths were pained and shallow, but he still managed to eke out a kind smile. Allow me then to tell you my wish. Forget about me. Please, honor me and forget about... It still sucks. Doesn't make it any better the second time around. Hold on, I have coffee. Before he could finish his sentence, the affliction moved to his face, and he disintegrated entirely. I stared blankly at the pile of ashes, and another agonizing wave of tears slid down my face. I'm almost with you. That's not fair. Sonnen, I can't promise you that. You know, I can't either. I buckled and fell to my knees, clutching fistfuls of ashes in my hands and holding them against me. They spilled, like all things do, from my delicate hands. He was gone, carried along with the bitter wind. It's the fucking worst! And I had to read it fucking twice! It's just as fucking bad the second time around, okay? But I'd like to point out, because like what I said the first time, and it's still too, it's seriously, that is like almost not quite as bad as the fucking goddamn fucking Toa True ending in Seven Scarlet. This is better because this is not, you're like, this is just a bad ending and I still have the happy ending we can go back to. You don't get that. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Seven Scarlet, don't. It's fucking traumatizing. Those true endings are fucking awful and they still make me cry. And this though, no. I didn't actually cry when I played it, but I was close. I was like, no, but why? No! I mean, I think the only reason I didn't actually legit lose my shit and actually cry the first time playing that, or even this time, is because I'm like, this isn't like we can just go back and we play the good ending and we live happily ever after and we don't worry about it. Although, again, the implications in Okita's path and his is like, the game ended on a happy note, but they never... I mean, as far as I'm aware, and I don't think, because they haven't localized it anyway, so I don't know. There's been so many, Hakuoki games, and then there was, one, and then they split it, and then they did this, and they did that, and they did these things, and then, who knows? I don't even fucking know. I can't keep track. I don't think there was ever a fan disc that came out after this. This was it. Because it's kind of like, I really hope there isn't, because I feel like Okita and Sonnen would just be dead. They'd be like, we didn't put them in there because they're dead. Because it leaves you with this, yay, we're happy. Are we, though? Because, in Okita's, they kind of leave you with this, he might actually be dead. Someday, as long as I can hold on. So he's probably going to die, 3 days after that part ends. And, Son, and you're he's ready to crumble. And you're like, ah! I'm just worried about them, is all I'm saying. And Yamazaki, because he seems to have, a lightning bolt following him around. He's just... Anyway. So we'll do these all over again. Okay. Low romance, high corruption. I will see when we get to chapter 4 because, I don't know. That one, when I did it the first time, I got the same ending as that. And it didn't make any sense, so. But the first 3 chapters, the bad endings are These ones are I feel like they half-assed them. I'm like, okay, not, whatever. But after his unrequited love ending, I'm okay with these being like meh bad endings because there was too much trauma. Oh, Lana, my precious. Oh, stop! Oh, Inoue and Yamazaki. We get to do Yamazaki tomorrow. So, like, it's 15 minutes in and I've been playing this game for an hour. I get to do it all over again. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm so mad. What do we say? We could rid the Furies of Bloodlust. We'd be able to remove the symptoms of Bloodlust completely? Wait, is that where it's at? We could rid them of Bloodlust, right? If everything posited in these notes is factual, then we can presume that our desired outcome will occur. Of course, as you're well aware, the biggest detriment threatening any Fury is the slow decline of its mental faculties due to episodes of Bloodlust. If we can work to remove those cravings entirely, then it can only benefit the Shinsengumi long term. Okay, so because I have to attempt to figure out what's new because I can't just skip because I read it all already. So we were supposed to make him endure it. What should I do? I was panicked, shifting my eyes back and forth as sweat poured down my forehead. The sun had forced a smile with gritted teeth to comfort me. Don't fret. This will pass. Have you any idea how many times I've endured pain like this? This won't deter me. Sorry. My heart was ready to burst from my chest. This is beautiful. I love this one. But Son and clawed frantically at his skin, writhing and grunting and time. It's just so sad. It's like such a beautiful, painful. You're like, oh, you got Mora. I know it's not much, but this is all I can do for you right now. Everything's okay. Everything will be okay. I patted him softly on the back as his entire body flexed in extreme pain. As he grimaced uncomfortably in my arms, I kept my arms around his ribcage, careful not to aggravate him. I may have been slightly out of view from him, but I hoped that my warmth could serve him somehow. And then this is all. So this is where it gets confusing because there's... Still love it. I still love the makeovers. I don't think Yamazaki gets one. That makes me sad. Yeah, but this is gonna be hard because there's a part like where we run into Sana and we have a next choice. We say something different. We have a few lines. Then we skip a bunch and then we go back. So it's like I'm gonna have to like just manually skip through it. So as opposed to auto skip. All right. So we say nothing. I found myself at a loss for words, which I feared Sana would interpret as a sign of guilt. Even so, watching his eyes thin from sadness was a sight I could no longer stomach. So I began frantically saying whatever came to mind. May I assist in your rounds? You know, that way I could be a witness of sorts and prove your innocence. Well, even if I were the culprit, couldn't you, of all people, think of instances where you were unsure if I were being truthful or not? Well... Sanan offered me a wry smile, pushing me gently with the harmless, outstretched palm. In the meantime, return to the compounds. If something were to happen to you, then I'd have many questions to answer, including why I'm here. Without waiting to hear my response, Sanan spun on his heel and ambled down the dimly lit road. Okay, so we're gonna have to like... I'm gonna skip through this. So we run into Sanan. We run into Heisuke. Okay, so I think there's wait! So you really think it was him? I refuse to give in. I'm going to find Sanan again, and I'll prove to everyone how innocent he is. Hey! Wait! Spacey! Okay. Heisuke shouted at the top of his lungs as I bolted away from him back into the city, ignoring his pleas. As I traveled down the main road, my eyes searched every street corner and izakaya for a trace of Sanan. Sanan, where are you? As I poked my head into a narrow, cramped alley, I noticed something that made me freeze. An ominous pair of piercing crimson eyes flashed in the thick of darkness. Thick of darkness? I don't know. I realized too late to whom they could have belonged. And as I attempted to backtrack into the main road, uh-oh, everything went black. A dull ache rang like a bell in my chest, and my entire body felt white hot. No matter how much I tried, my eyes refused to open again. Killed by a Fury, in case you didn't get that. But I do find it hilarious still, like I did in the first time I played this, where she's like, uh-oh. Like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Like, fuck. Yeah, you made a mistake, girl. Oops. Drat. Okay, so. Chapter 2. Low romance, high corruption, low high. We get low romance, we have high corruption, and then we fail. Miserably. Okay. Chapter 2. It's funny, because it's like I've done this, like, a million times. It's not as fun when you have to record it a second fucking time. I don't have time to have wasted 45 minutes. I really don't. That's like a whole other part of something. Like, I could have, like, by the time we're done with this, I could have recorded a whole, like, I'd be halfway through something else. Like, anyway. Well, we'll get this in a lot sooner because we didn't have nearly as much random rambling about random ramble things. So. See, you missed the fun. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. Setbacks happen, and although we weren't able to find anything from my father's research notes, there has to be something in there that we could use. Maybe that's the key you've been looking for. Don't be too hard on yourself. Your research hasn't been fruitless. We've only just begun, really. I was afraid that he'd think I was being coy, but I couldn't bear to watch his stoic eyes drip with melancholia, so I rambled off encouragement. Soon, Sonen's lips curled into a thin, faint smile. Right you are. We have only just begun. There's far more progress to be made. Sonen muttered softly before shaking his head in trepidation. As you are aware, however, the Shinsengumi had strictly banned Fury research of any kind. Okay, so this is all the same. And now we're going to make him endure it. A grotesque agony consumed Sonen, measured in thick beads of sweat, bloodshot eyes, and a pair of violently shaking hands. Are you okay, Sonen? As I attempted to comfort him, he stretched his hand out, stopping me from getting any closer. No! Leave this room this instant! But you're suffering, Sonen! This will pass, so get out! Ah! Sonen! Sonen's body contorted from uncontrollable pain, and he began clawing at his own chest like a wolf into dirt. The gloves really just, I don't know what it is, they just add his sexiness. Like, it's like 10 points for that. I watched in horror before wrapping my arms around him, as if I could absorb some of his pain into myself. It's funny that nobody else got gloves. He's got gloves. It's just, I love it. I don't know what it is. I just... My only solution was to restrain his lashing body, desperately hoping that his pain would soon subside. Moments of pause would lull me into a false comfort until the seizing would pick back up in rhythm again. I took them as they came, however, continuing to hold him until his gnashed teeth loosened a bit. Boop. I love his happy face. It's so cartoony. Hey, look! There's Soma and Nomura. Barely see them. I step behind Hijikata and Heisuke meekly, and they inch closer to Sonen with the sword raised. Yes, I read the and both times the first time too, because it's in there, so I'm reading it. They cautiously eyed him like a feral dog. It was a saddening performance, one that breathed life into the idea of the Shinsengumi's deterioration. Hijikata and Sonen traded hateful glares. An electrifying tension filled the air, making it nearly impossible for me to draw breath. In the blink of an eye, I saw someone dart forward, though it hadn't been whom I was expecting. I was expecting it. And not because I did this once before, but also because there's only one person that laughs like that. Ha 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 ha! Ow! no, he wasn't finished yet. The Ronin, who moments earlier was lying lifeless, jumped up and slashed my body to ribbons. Everything was turning black. Even in my final moments, I was overcome with guilt. I'm sorry, Sonnen. It shouldn't be like this. Killed by a Fury. Again! You know, because she got killed by a Fury the first time, and now she killed by a Fury. Again! So. That just sucks. What's today for you guys? Is it Wednesday? I think it is Wednesday. So like, oh yeah, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Hey! Yamazaki's parts on Thanksgiving. I'll try to remember to say Happy Thanksgiving to anybody who's celebrating. Right? I'm not going to be. I'm going to be busting my ass recording. Low romance, high corruption. Low high. Yes. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, thank God I only have like 3 more days of work. Like right now, I have like none. Probably on my way home. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, on my way home. Gonna record all night and spend all day Thursday and Friday recording. Woo! Because, you know, fucking A, I'm so behind. I'm usually a week ahead. It's Friday night. It's the Friday before Thanksgiving. And I'm only recording this part, which is going up on Wednesday. I'm like 5 days ahead, so that's like great, but like I got a lot of shit to do. And I go, I'm gonna prepare for like 3 weeks of not recording around Christmas. Jesus. So yeah. I'm trying as desperately as I can to do everything and be prepared so that you guys, so I don't have to cut you down to half-hour parts. But, things are not gonna be in December. It's gonna be difficult. We're supposed to say, I don't know. What did I want to do? No one else had confronted me with the question, so I was too timid to answer the question off the cuff. Well, that I'm unsure of. I suppose I'd only be able to decide if I spoke with him, and even then, regardless if he's crossed or not, nothing is certain until I hear the words come from his mouth. A point well taken, I suppose. Okay, we already, yeah. I was trying to remember what was done before, but anyway. I'm doing everything in my power to not cut this to half-hour parts. If I have to, though, it will be in the start of a route. It won't be like I'm going to try to do it like finish a route with the 1 hour and then the next one would start with half hour. Like, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't be like halfway through a route. I just don't want to have to not have something for weeks. So I'm doing the best I can to make sure everything gets recorded. And I know that you guys understand if things aren't, but it's like for me, I don't know. Anyway, hold on. Sonnen, please stop! This is kind of a little horrifying. Rage consumed Sonnen, prompting him to pounce on the nearby remains of a dismembered soldier. I did my best to restrain him, but there was little else I could do when the two of us were totally surrounded by what he had craved most. Against my better judgment, I kept myself from attempting other options, clinging to the hope that his sanity would remain intact. I was beginning to think my hesitation would cost Sonnen, but no alternative seemed worth the risk. That, like the first time I read it, I was like, that's a slap in the face. Like, no other alternative it didn't seem worth the risk to like cut myself and let him drink my blood. Instead, he's going mad and hacking up dead bodies. Well, Spacey, you're kind of a bitch. Anyway. Sonnen, are you and my father working together? Is this where you've been since you left? I advise choosing your words carefully, Yukimura. After all, it was the Shinsengumi who chose not to heed my humble offer of assistance. From my perspective, they drew the first blood with their betrayal of trust. It was the Shinsengumi who abandoned us. I was merely a casualty of their insolence. Okay. Alright, I have to pause this. Hold on. So Kaoru comes out. They do their fighty. Blah, blah, blah. All of this is happening. Heisuke shows up. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me go back for a second. Okay, I marveled at Heisuke's heroics, but the echo of his rousing declaration attracted the attention of Furies, who began to swarm around us gleefully. That's where it stops. So him, like, screaming at Sanan up above here, like, bring it! Hey, if you think you can take me on, then give me everything you got! So that draws the Furies. Okay, so then we're here. Okay. It was, yeah. Heisuke against Sanan. Sen against Kaoru. Kimigiku against Father. Everyone else was locked in a fierce duel, and I had been left to fend for myself. Big surprise on what happens. Hya! With wild aplomb, I waved my Kodachi at the mess of Furies, hoping to chomp at me viciously. Stop! Hey, you can't take him on all by yourself. But... I mean, Heisuke, what option? First of all, what option do I have? You're all... and I'm like, I'm just going to stand here and let them eat me? I got to try. It's not like I raced into them. It's like they're coming at me. The Furies punched like moths to an open flame, appearing to be provoked by each of my frenzied swings, which weren't aimed at anyone in particular. I'm amazed that she's... the cling, cling, cling. That's not you, right? Because she's not that good. It was a desperate play. I flinched as my Kodachi connected with the outstretched forearm of an attacking Fury, as blood spurted into my face. As Heisuke warned, however, their vigor was unmatched, and I soon felt overwhelmed. Against one, you'd be overwhelmed. Ah! They clawed at me incessantly, and before I knew it, one of the Furies snatched my Kodachi out of my hand. The Fury's piercing scarlet gaze was pointed at me, along with the tip of my own Kodachi. As the cold steel was driven into my heart, I felt an unimaginable, searing pain, causing me to cry out in desperate agony without any chance to defend. Yukimura! Hey! Furies! Halt! I said halt! So it goes. I suppose the Princess of Iyase will have to do then. As I collapsed to the floor, the fading sound of Father's voice echoed in my ears. Killed by Furies. Again. That's basically. Yep. All right, and now we're gonna see if we get the same ending. I'm not gonna say what when I did it. I think I must have clicked the wrong thing, but like I have no way to tell. Like maybe I clicked high romance, high corruption, or something. I don't know. Low romance, high corruption. Yeah, I don't know why I got the exact same ending, and like what it says in the little black box, I was like, that doesn't make sense, because I don't think... So we'll see if we get the same thing, so I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. I made him endure it. I chose nothing is for certain, so I did that, but I think maybe I clicked like high romance, high corruption or something. But I don't know why... Low romance, low corruption should get you the unrequited love ending. So maybe I did low romance, low corruption by accident. Like maybe I wasn't paying attention when I did it. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Because obviously in the unrequited love ending, you know, Sanan dies, turns to dust. But like... That's the 4th time I've seen that today. I'm not complaining. We want to see it again. Nothing is for certain. Okay. Which we've already read. Because that was what we did before. Nothing's for certain, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to make him endure it. Which we haven't read. I have. You haven't. I'm so confused. Anyway. Oh! I'm actually okay having seen those 2 CGs, like, twice now today. Well, 4 times now. I decided to. Okay. Veins bulged from Sanan's forehead, which was drenched in a coat of sweat as he viciously clawed at his body. He ground his teeth in desperation. Sanan, please, pay me no mind, and consider it karma. I'm being punished for allowing one so beautiful as you to endure Oh, to endear yourself to a creature like me. And I was like skimmed there. I'm like, my God, he's so beautiful, even in the midst of this pain. Oh, God. A despondent frown curled in Sonen's lips, and he quickly averted his line of sight as his focus returned on the agonizing pain he was currently suffering. So. Sonnen! I'm fine. I must atone of these sins. I must atone. My only choice of action was to embrace Sonen's body as he convulsed in front of me. Okay, so here's the thing. If we're going to get a different ending, skipping is going to be okay because we've never seen it before. But we did that, and when I skipped through, it totally skipped and it acted like we've already done the ending, so I'm thinking I must have clicked something wrong, or I don't know. So we're going to see what happens. I know we did it right this time. I know we did low romance, high corruption. I was paying attention this time, so. So, like, all of this goes on, but the same thing, like, I just, So I'm just curious. I'm not going to tell you what's under the black box, like, in the guide. You know how it, like, tells you, like, a little code, like, she gets killed by demons, this happens, like. I'm not going to say it until because in case I did it wrong the first time when I played through. If not, then I'll tell you what it says and be like, it just doesn't make sense to me because that's not part of it happens, but the other part is not. No way it happens, but so let's see. Okay, so yeah, all this is okay. I did it wrong. So I must have done like low romance, low corruption by accident when I was doing it because it didn't stop here, just skipping through and I was like, wait. So, okay, cool. All right. I shall wash my hands of you and spend the rest of my days researching methods of rejuvenating my body so that I may live forever. Father cackled to our dismay and then put the glass vial to his lips, swallowing the serum in one gulp. Gah! I mean, this kind of we've already read, but Father unleashed a deafening roar, causing me to flinch as he charged towards Sonnen. This is different. He attempted a jab, which was effortlessly parried by Sonnen, but the latter suddenly stopped in his tracks. He looked up, wearing a pained expression as he slowly tilted his head downwards. Oh, God. I realized at the same moment he did, and cupped my hands over my mouth in horror. His flesh began to wither to dust like the burnt edges of an incense. Okay, so he's still going to turn to dust. Oh, God. Seems like you've run out of time, Sonnen. What a tragedy. Guess I hadn't needed the serum after all. My heart tightened in my chest. I attempted to sprint towards Sonnen, hoping to hold him in my arms for his final moments, but as my body lunged forward frantically, I felt someone pull me back. Oh my God, just let me have this! Huh? Let go of me! It was Kaoru, rubbing salt in my emotional wounds by grabbing a hold of my arm with a sadistic grin. Sonnen's done for. From now on, we're going to live as a family. I lost you once, sister, and I'm not losing you again. You needn't put up a fuss. I'll take good care of you. Except for the fact that every day of your life will be a living hell when we drain your body of its blood. Kaoru struck my neck with his palm, then gripped the back of it forcefully to cut off the circulation of blood. As he restricted my breath, I felt my vision blurring. You couldn't even hold Sonnen in his last moment. That's even sadder. Then, darkness. Okay, that's really sad. All right, yeah, so this was Sonnen dies, and she's taken by her brother and father. So when I did it the first time, I was like, well, Sonnen died because he turned to dust, but he killed Kodo, so there was no way she could have been taken by her brother and father when Kodo died. So I was like, wait, I must have done something wrong, and that's when I realized that my thing wasn't recording. So there you go. At least we got the right ending this time. So now we can check out the gallery, and the thing is, okay, so I'm only like 3 minutes faster than I was originally, so. Sonnen gallery. Look at how sad his gallery is, though. Why you do this to me, game? Like, look at this. Like, Nagakura's is sad, too. Like, they like Harada. They do. You can tell in the very beginning when you do the game, because, like, when you load the game, because they have, like, a picture and it's like them, and then it like zooms and it's like a separate, like they get two different like little, like, of like most of them. But then when they get to, they do like that for Hijikata, Saito, Harada, and they might do it for Heisuke. I don't know. I don't think they do it for Heisuke. No, they do, because Nagakura, Sanin, and Yamazaki kind of share one. They do like their individual, but then like the little fancy one after, they do like, and it's all three of them. So if you like watch the first part, you've seen the intro, like, but they'll have like them, like one of them, and then they do another with a different kind of background. It's them again. So it's like they do like they get two panels almost. But when they get to like Nagakura, Yamazaki, and Sanin, it's like they do an individual one and then they share the second, and it's like, well, you don't like them very much, do you? And they don't. Like, look at them. They get nothing for CGs. And I don't understand why you hate them. Anyway. Hold on. I want to see something. Okay, so these ones have multiple... All right, because these are the... Anyway, we're going to... Oops, sorry. These ones, it's all the same. It's just the background and the coloring slightly different, so... God, I love the uniforms. There's that. That one's kind of adorable. He's like, shh. Stop. Stop doing it. And the gloved hand. God, it's beautiful. Ugh. God, I love it so much. And that one's adorable. She's got her eyes closed. But that's still my... Oh, you're so precious. You are so precious. Oh, God, I love it. I love it so much. Why? Anyway, even that one, she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, shh, I'm being sexy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. This one didn't have a second one, I don't think. No. Okay. And this one, I just kind of, it's sad because this is the only one of just him. So this is the one we're going to end on. But I almost wish, like, more, we need like a 3/4 or a full face shot to be beautiful, but still, this hurts me though. Doesn't it hurt you? You're like, oh my God. But it's actually kind of poetically beautiful. Like there's something about it where they were like, huh, that's where he was injured, right? And then he took the serum, and that would make sense why that's the first part that is of his body that starts to fall apart. You know? Although this, I love this one too. He was so beautiful. Why'd they have to hurt us? Why'd they have to hurt us by, like, she looks derpy in this. She's ruining it for me. And this one. It's not even that she's derpy. I mean, it is. It's just there's something about her face that just looks weird. Maybe it's just because, like, the way it is, like, the shadows, it's like she's just a floating head in there, and it's just bizarre. I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of CGs, so... But, which makes me sad. But I love Sonnen, and I loved this route. This was goddamn amazing. And even, God, his unrequited love ending just gonna go back to We Live Happily Ever After, and, like... But also, hi, he's the only one that's taken off his clothes for us. like they did start to unbutton a shirt. Wait, what? Oh, we got a CG of the... Jesus, game. Jesus. You didn't think you were going to get the fan service in this path, did you? Well, you did. But I love Sonnen. I really do. He's one of my favorites. Obviously, he's one of my top 4. So, anyway. We will be back tomorrow on Thanksgiving. With Yamazaki. Yay! I'm actually kind of excited for Yamazaki's route because his route was really good in the first one, and I kind of wasn't expecting that because they kind of like, he's such a side character and they never really, so I just really wasn't expecting his route to be as like sweet as it was. So I kind of have high hopes for his route here, that it's going to be, you know, as good. I'm really fucking hoping. So, yeah. So I'm really hoping it's as good. But I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's just, so yeah, we'll see. We'll find out starting tomorrow. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.